This is 19-33601. Mr. Stratton is charged with capital murder of multiple persons. Mr. Radford has filed a writ asking for a bail reduction. I think we talked about this and reset it so that the state could bring any witnesses, and then I would make my decision. Mr. Radford, do you have any witnesses?
Yes, we call Lively Stratton for the purposes of this hearing only.
Best you can, sir. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Radford.
Can you state your name for the record?
Lively Stratton.
And Mr. Stratton, you are the defendant in this case, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what is your bond currently set at?
I think after the appeal, I don't think my bond was ever set.
So it's your understanding that you have no bond at this time?
Yes, sir.
What was your bond set at prior to your trial?
I think it was $1 million bond.
Okay. And prior to this incident, have you ever been, well, you hadn't been, this conviction was overturned by the Court of Criminal Appeals, correct?
Yes, sir.
And prior to this incident, were you ever convicted of any crimes?
No, sir.
Where did you live at this time?
In Beaumont.
In Beaumont, and did you have a job?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how long have you been incarcerated?
Going on 7 years.
7 years? So do you have any substantial savings or any monies that you have collected?
No, as far as my bond, everything would be no contributions from like the family.
And if the judge were to set a $250,000 bond, do you think it's possible that you had family members and friends that could make that amount?
It would be possible.
Okay. Pass away.
Any questions?
Mr. Pratt, tell me about the means that your family has. What do your parents do? What kind of assets do they have? What kind of income do they have?
Well, my mom, she gets Social Security disability. My uncle, he's been a professor for the last 30 years. So I'm pretty sure he's got a good amount like saved up in travels and stuff like that.
Do your parents own homes?
No, man.
Do they have cars? Does your uncle own his home?
We probably does as well.
And he's a professor at Lamar?
No, he lives in another state.
So would you agree with me that amongst the members of your family, you have considerable means to try to?
I wouldn't even say considerable because I mean, my uncle is really like kind of tight as far as his money wise. So it'd just be even if he feels like doing it for me.
I don't have anything further, Judge.
All right. Thank you. Any other witnesses?
That's all I have, Judge.
Ms. Malfino?
Judge, I will call Detective Coffin.
Good morning, sir. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Go ahead.
And before beginning, Judge, I asked the court to take judicial notice of the trial that you presided over some years ago, which gave you obviously a very good insight into the totality of the circumstances and the facts involving this case, and that there were 4 victims of this case. So just ask Detective Coffin, would you, your name for the record?
My name's Frank Coffin.
And were you one of the lead detectives on the case State versus Lively Stratton?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
And that involves the homicide of 4 individuals here next to Lamar campus here in Beaumont, Jefferson County.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were involved heavily in the trial process, preparation, et cetera, and you know what came before the court. Is there anything that you would like to add for Judge West's consideration with respect to a bond being set for Lively Stratton?
Yeah. Murder like this before, where 4 people were gunned down so close to a college campus, so carelessly, so quickly. And I can't recall anything like that before. So I think that in itself that's a significant event as far as murder is concerned.
Detective Coffin, based on all of your years of training, experience, investigation of homicides, et cetera, do you feel like Lively Stratton presents a significant threat to the community of Beaumont if he is released?
Significant threat.
And do you feel like they're based on the totality of all these circumstances, there's a great likelihood of his flight if he is released from custody?
I would imagine that there would be, if knowing what he's faced with, knowing the amount of time that he already been sentenced to prison. The time that he can be sentenced again, there's no upside to not leaving.
I don't know unless the court does from the detective. I just have a couple of statements for argument.
Okay, no, thank you. Thank you, sir.
And Judge,
Oh, you
yeah.
have to ask questions. I'm sorry.
Detective Coffin, you testified at the trial, is that correct?
No, I
You
didn't.
did not? Did you observe the trial?
I did.
Okay.
Well, no, I did not. I'm
So you
sorry.
didn't watch the trial and you didn't testify at the trial?
No.
Okay, so you don't know what happened at the trial?
I was not there for the day-to-day, but I do know what happened. I was here at the courthouse helping prepare with evidence, with witnesses,
But you didn't watch the testimony, did you?
with interviews. I did not watch the individual testimony.
Were you aware that the jury found that two of the victims, evidently that they didn't convict him of killing the two guys with the knives? They convicted the two guys without weapons. Were you aware of that?
I'm not aware of the details of how many people or of how he killed each person. No.
Okay. That's all I have.
Anything else?
No.
No.
Ms. Malvino?
Judge, I would ask for a bond in this case that is equal with what the facts of this case are, with the fact that we have 4 homicide victims. I think an ask of $250,000 is extremely low. I think it's offensive to the court to ask for a number like that for all 4 individuals, maybe $250,000 per individual. So that's back at the $1 million bond that he was originally set on. The court, unfortunately, is required to set bond on multiple murders in Jefferson County on a quite frequent basis these days. And I think something in X dollars more than a reasonable ask in this case, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Malvino. Mr. Radford?
Judge, I would point out that the jury did find that there was evidently self-defense in 2 of the victims and that there was an error in the charge and that a new jury may find a different result based upon